Welcome to Cinebuster, the YouTube channel that tells the real stories behind the cars on and off screen. And today the vehicle is a 1955 Ford F100, built by West Coast Customs for one of the most star-studded action films ever assembled. It was a truck with a backstory that connected to another famous Stallone screen car in ways that nobody outside the production would have caught at the time, and a personal history that was playing out in real time while the cameras were rolling. If you love movie cars and their stories, subscribe to Cinebuster right now. Also be sure to like, comment, and now, lights, camera, action.
Oh, come on! Are you crazy? You're gonna kill me! You're welcome!
The Expendables was written, directed, and stars Sylvester Stallone as Barney Ross, the leader of a group of elite mercenaries hired for a mission in a fictional South American country. The cast reads like a roll call of the action genre's most commercially significant figures: Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jason Statham, Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, Terry Crews, Randy Couture, Mickey Rourke, and Eric Roberts. Bruce Willis appears in a scene with Stallone and Schwarzenegger that marks the first time all three appeared in a film together. The film was released August 13, 2010, on a budget of around 80 mil, and grossed around 275 mil worldwide. It was a significant commercial success built on a very specific proposition. Take every major action star from the era when Stallone was at his commercial peak and put them in the same film. Because why not? For audiences who grew up watching these men separately in the 1980s, seeing them share a frame was the entire point. The film functioned as a piece of nostalgia for an era that had produced Cobra, First Blood, Commando, Universal Soldier, and dozens of other films that now look like a specific and unrepeatable moment in American cinema. That era is the context for every decision made about this truck. The 1955 Ford F100 that Stallone drives as Barney Ross is the most immediately recognizable vehicle in the film. In matte black with a 3-inch chopped roof and a custom grille, it's not a background vehicle, it's a character vehicle. The truck that communicates who Barney Ross is before he opens his mouth, before the film establishes his reputation, before any other character tells you anything about him. A man who drives a matte black 1955 F100 with a chopped roof in 2010 is making a statement about what he values and what he is not interested in pretending to be. The truck is old iron kept purposeful. The film needed Barney Ross to read as the kind of man who does not care about trends. The F100 does that in a single established shot. The decision to use the 1955 F100 connects the film to the kind of post-war American iron that has appeared in Stallone's screen work before, and these specific customization choices, particularly the grille, connect this truck directly to one of his most famous screen vehicles in ways that were deliberate, documented, and worth understanding.
The guys are doing really good. The motor's swapped out. One truck is fully stripped. Thanks, guys. Thanks again.
West Coast Customs was tasked with building 3 identical 1955 Ford F100s for the production, 2 for the film and 1 for Stallone to keep personally. The timeline was not comfortable. The production needed the trucks ready. The shop had a specific window to deliver, and there was no margin for the kind of problems that show up when you are building 3 of the same ground-up customs simultaneously. To make the timeline work, Ryan and the WCC team called in reinforcements. Wyotech students Owen Lubnow, Rusty McClintock, and Matt Myers were brought in to assist with the fabrication work. An entire episode of the West Coast Customs television show was devoted to the build, which gives the project a documented production history that most film vehicles never receive. The mechanical foundation across all 3 trucks was a 347 cubic inch Ford small block from ATK Engines, fitted with an Elderbrock total power package producing around 429 horses and 411 pound-feet of torque. Behind the engine went a B&M equipped automatic transmission, a Gibson exhaust system, Heights Mustang 2 front suspension, and a Heights 4-link kit with a Ford 9-inch rear axle. Willwood brakes, Jenny shifter commander, Ron Davis radiator with Zergo cooling fans, Lexani 20-inch rims with Continental tires, vintage air climate system. Body panels from LMC replaced the original deteriorated metal, along with new bumpers, lighting, roll pans, and a grille shell. Then West Coast Customs chopped the top by 3 inches and added hood vents. a modification that the Ford truck community noted at the time required significant sheet metal work around the pillars to allow the flex the roof now had. The interior included a Cirillo seat, auto-lock gauges, and hidden compartments for a pistol and a rifle. The truck came with places to put Barney Ross's weapons because Barney Ross always needs somewhere to put his weapons. The 1955 Ford F100 was the second year of the all-new F-Series body that Ford introduced in 1953, a truck designed to look like a personal vehicle rather than a commercial hauler, with a lower stance, smoother body panels, and a cab that felt more car-like than anything the F-Series had offered before. By 2009, a clean 1955 F100 in any condition was already a collectible. Finding 3 in filmable condition, building all 3 to an identical custom specification, chopping the bodies and delivering them on a production timeline was not a simple exercise. The Wyotech students who came in to assist with the metal fabrication work were working on a project that required a precision across 3 trucks simultaneously. Every cut on one hand had to match the others. Every weld had to be consistent. Every panel fit had to hold under camera scrutiny. The timeline pressure that West Coast Customs operated under on this build is the detail that does not show in the finished truck. What shows is the chop in the grille and the flat black paint. What does not show is how fast it all had to happen. The Barrett-Jackson auction listing for this truck described the custom grille as, and this is a direct quote from the listing, reminiscent of the 1950 Merc and Cobra. Not a casual resemblance, not an identical similarity, a documented listed connection between the F100's grille and the 1950 Mercury coupe that Stallone drove as Marion Cobretti in his 1986 film Cobra. The chopped roofline of the F100 connects to the same era of custom work that made the Cobra Mercury famous, the heavy metal California custom tradition that informed both vehicles. They are stylistically related in a way that the production clearly understood and built into the truck's DNA. The Cobra Mercury story has its own Cinebuster episode. Link is in the description below. The short version for context, multiple Mercury coupes were built for the 1986 Cobra production. Stallone kept the hero car, the close-up car, the one he drove as Marion Cobretti, after filming. In 1994, it was stolen from his garage. For 15 years, it was gone. Then in December 2009, an auction company that provides on-camera vehicles for film productions was listing the Cobra Mercury for public sale, his own stolen car being auctioned in plain sight. He filed a lawsuit in LA County Superior Court for $3 million in damages and return of the vehicle, with a filing that opened with a line from the film itself.
I don't deal with psychos. I put them away.
Okay, just kidding. The actual line he quoted was, "Crime is a disease. Meet the cure." The company claimed they had no idea the car was stolen. A settlement was reached in March 2011 and Stallone regained possession of the Mercury. Imagine getting the Mercury returned to you at almost the same time you received a truck that is a tribute to the exact same car is nothing short of poetic. At least I think so. To add another parallel, Stallone's co-stars in the Expendables series, Bruce, Arnold, and Van Damme, would all partner in the now-defunct Planet Hollywood restaurant chain where one of the Cobra Mercuries was reportedly displayed. After it closed, the car vanished and is still unaccounted for. Be sure to subscribe to Cinebuster right now, and if this video is less than 7 days old, share it and hype it. First week of engagement is everything for this channel, and we appreciate every person who helps. The auction story and where these trucks ended up is coming up. Stallone did not keep his F100 for long. The truck he had received as part of the 3-truck West Coast Customs build, the one built specifically for his personal collection, the one designed as the hero truck, went to Barrett-Jackson Scottsdale auction in January 2011, just months after the Expendables had its theatrical run. The listing described it as being from the Sylvester Stallone collection. The full specification sheet was included: 347 cube Edelbrock engine, B&M AOD transmission, Heights Mustang 2 front suspension, Ford 9-inch rear axle, Willwood brakes, Jenny Shifter Commander, Lexani 20-inch rims, Continental tires, Ron Davis radiator, vintage air system, and the hidden weapon compartments. The buyer also received an autographed photograph of Stallone with the truck taken during the film shoot, a piece of provenance documentation that established the connection between the auction vehicle and the production in a format that travels with the car. It sold for $132,000. $132,000 in 2011 is worth roughly $190,000 in 2026 money. For a ground-up custom with that specification, a full West Coast Customs build documented on television, and screen credit is one of the highest-grossing ensemble action films of the decade. That's a number that makes sense, and that is almost certainly only appreciated since. As for where the hero truck went after the Scottsdale auction, the collector community has been asking that question since the gavel came down. It is in private hands somewhere. Its location has not been publicly documented. The two stunt trucks, the versions of the F100 built for the production's action sequences and crash work, the ones that were not designated for Stallone's personal collection, have had a considerably quieter public profile than the hero truck. Production stunt vehicles typically leave the set through the standard picture car pipeline, sold to brokers, donated, offered to crew, or quietly dispersed without the kind of auction documentation that makes the hero vehicle traceable. The stunt trucks from the Expendables took exactly that route. Around 2022, a social media reel by an auto broker showed one of the Expendables stunt F100s. The truck's matte black finish, chopped roof, and overall configuration were recognizable to anyone who knew the production. The auto broker's involvement suggests the truck had entered the commercial vehicle market, either actively for sale or recently brokered. It is possible that one or both stunt trucks were sold off after filming wrapped, which is completely standard for production vehicles that were not specifically retained by the principal cast or the studio. The hero truck went to Stallone and then to Barrett Jackson for $132,000 with an autographed photograph. The stunt trucks went to wherever stunt trucks go when nobody is tracking them. The 2022 sighting is the only confirmed recent public record of either stunt F100. The full story on both of them has not been publicly told. 3 identical 1955 F100s, built by West Coast Customs with WyoTech student assistants on a timeline that required calling in extra hands, and devoting an entire television episode to the effort. Each one with a 347-cube ATK engine, a chopped roof, a grille that the Barrett Jackson auction listing compared directly to the 1950 Mercury from Cobra, hidden weapon compartments, and the kind of specification sheet that reflects a production that took the vehicle seriously rather than treating it as a dressed prop. The hero truck sold at Barrett Jackson Scottsdale in January 2011 for $132,000. Came with an autographed Stallone photograph and entered private ownership that has not been publicly documented since. One stunt truck surfaced on social media around 2022 in the hands of an auto broker, possibly sold, possibly being brokered, possibly sitting in a collection that has not gone public yet. The second stunt truck's current location is not publicly established in any record the community has been able to locate. 3 trucks built under pressure, 1 accounted for at auction and then gone quiet, 2 in the wind. Somewhere in the American collector car market, there are 1 or 2 matte black 1955 Ford F100s with chopped roofs, Mercury tribute grills, and hidden weapon compartments. Whoever has them has one of the more specific and interesting pieces of Sylvester Stallone's automotive history sitting in their possession, and probably has no idea how deep that history actually runs. Thank you for watching. This channel grows because you share it and every comment gets read. Subscribe to Cinebuster for more stories like this one, and we'll see you in the next one.